On an ordinary day, a great crowd began to follow Jesus. People came from many towns. They brought their pain, their doubts, and their hope. There were men, women, elderly people, and children. Some were sick, others were tired, but everyone wanted to be close to Jesus. When Jesus saw that crowd, he was not annoyed. He did not send them away. He looked at those people with compassion. The place was far away. There were no markets nearby. There were not enough houses around, only fields, hills, and the open sky. Jesus began to teach. His words brought peace to the heart, light to the mind, and hope to those who no longer knew where to go. The hours passed. The sun began to go down in the sky, and the crowd remained there, listening to every word. The disciples began to notice a problem. The day was ending, and thousands of people were far from home. The children began to feel hungry. The adults looked around, and the disciples knew there was not enough food in that place. So the disciples went to Jesus. They told him to send the crowd away, so each person could go to the villages and buy food. But Jesus answered in a way they did not expect. He said, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." The disciples were shocked. How could they feed such a large crowd? It seemed impossible. They began to search among the people. Maybe someone had a little food. Maybe there was something that could be used. Then they found a boy. He had only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. It was little, very little, almost nothing. Before thousands of people, one of the disciples brought the boy to Jesus, but there was still doubt in his heart. What was this for so many people? Jesus looked at the boy. He saw the small basket, and he received what seemed insufficient. In the boy's hands, it was only a meal, but in the hands of Jesus, that little offering would become abundance. Then Jesus told everyone to sit down on the grass, in groups, organized across the field. Little by little, the crowd settled down. Families sat together. Children waited with curiosity. Then came a moment of silence. Everyone looked at Jesus. No one knew exactly what he was going to do. Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish in his hands. Then he looked up to heaven. Before multiplying the food, Jesus gave thanks. Before everyone ate, he thanked God. Then Jesus broke the bread, and as he broke it, the impossible began to happen. The bread did not run out. The disciples received the bread and fish from the hands of Jesus, and they began to distribute them to the people. The first families received the food. Children smiled. Parents looked at one another in surprise. The baskets remained full. The more the disciples gave away, the more there was to give. The crowd began to eat, not only a few, not only those closest to Jesus. Everyone received. The poor ate, the children ate, the elderly ate. No one was forgotten. In a place where there were no resources, Jesus brought abundance. Where everything seemed to be lacking, there was more than enough. The Bible says that everyone ate and was satisfied. It was not just a small piece, it was enough. Afterward, Jesus told the disciples to gather what was left over so that nothing would be wasted. The disciples collected the leftovers, and in the end, there were 12 baskets full. They had started with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Now they were standing before 12 full baskets. The disciples were amazed. They looked at the baskets. They looked at the crowd, and they realized they had just witnessed a miracle. And maybe that boy looked at everything, without being able to understand it fully. The small meal he had given to Jesus had fed a multitude. The people began to realize this was not only about food, it was a sign. God had acted among them. This miracle teaches us something powerful. Jesus does not need much to do something great. He can take the little we have and turn it into abundance. Maybe you think you have little strength, little faith, few resources, few opportunities, but when you place what you have in the hands of Jesus, little does not remain little. That day, 5 loaves and 2 fish fed thousands. Because in the hands of Jesus, the impossible becomes possible. Lack becomes abundance, and no one is forgotten. If this story touched your heart, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments. Jesus multiplies.